Hey guys, this is Slifer coming at you with a tutorial showing you guys how to make your Android device look and feel like an iOS device. The first step I do got for you is going to be iOS 11 Locker. This is an iOS 11 lock screen replacement. The reason why I do like it is because you still get the quick reply messages. You get all your notifications there, as well as the kind of cool thing is that if you have the PIN enabled, you can have the intruder selfie, keypad selfie recovery email. So, for instance, if somebody is trying to get into your phone and they misdo it 3 times, it'll take a picture of them from your front camera. So for right now, if I were to have my PIN code enabled, I should just be able to unlock it. And it did not get enabled that time. Sometimes it does take just a second for it to be enabled, because this is the first time setting it up, and you will get an ad every so often. You can remove ads by paying for it, I believe, but we'll have this like to unlock animation along with an iOS 11 wallpaper. Go ahead and swipe over and go ahead and enter in your PIN code. Now, because since I have both lock screens enabled, it will require me to put in my secondary authentication. But if I actually enable the fingerprint, which is one of the beta features, which is why I really like this application, I can still have my default lock screen enabled because I need to on a Samsung device to keep my fingerprint data in there. And then just put my finger on the sensor, and bam, I'm in, bypassing both lock screens. And so, like I said, if you do want to move all the ads, go ahead and get the premium version. Premium is only $1.49, so if you only want ads on your lock screen, go ahead and pay the $1.50. But you don't have to. The ads will only come every so often if you don't have notifications. If you do have notifications, ads should not come. The next app I have for you is going to be iOS 11 Control Center. So this is your big green button right here in the middle to turn it off. Then the size, color, and position, even though they're in 3 different menus, they're all the same menu. So if you want to adjust the size of it, I'll put it on the bottom for you, just so you can see a little bit bigger. Go ahead and adjust the size to be bigger, or adjust it as small as can be. I keep it right in the middle. You can change the color to pretty much any color you want to, or be completely transparent. I like mine in the sort of green. You can also change the intensity to be completely solid, or go as opaque as you want. I keep it kind of in the middle, just a little bit in the middle. I personally put on the right, since I have the Samsung S8 Plus. I definitely prefer it on one of the edges as opposed to the bottom right here. Now you can click on it and readjust where it is, but since I swipe up for the navigation bar, it doesn't really do that well. So I'm going to put it a little bit away from my edge panel. The cool thing is too about this, again, like I said, there will be ads in the settings applications of all these apps. If you go ahead and hit the background, so by default it's going to look like this. So you can tell it's definitely an iOS 11 wallpaper inside there. But if you go ahead and swipe over, it does launch pretty quickly as well. You can definitely adjust your brightness to as fine like settings as you want, as well as this will adjust your default volume. For me, I have the default volume set to my media volume. When you do launch Music Widget for the first time, it will ask you for your default music player. I chose Play Music because that's the one that I do listen to. I think the coolest thing about this is actually the screen timeout feature. So if you click on it, you can actually set your screen timeout by 15, 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes. So let's say you're doing something that you want your phone on to be for a little bit longer, but you don't want to dig into your settings and change your default screen timeout. This is definitely a great way to extend it as well. And then you also have shortcuts for airplane mode, data off, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, do not disturb, or sorry, rotation lock, do not disturb mode, and your torch, clock, calculator, and your camera application. So that's pretty much all there is to that. You can choose different backgrounds. So for instance, if you do background and then do screen blur, it'll take whatever on your screen and then blur it. I'm going to say no for right now. You can also do your current wallpaper. So it will actually go ahead and just take whatever current wallpaper you're using and then put it behind it. Or it'll make it completely transparent, which I just think it looks a little bit too cluttered. So I do keep mine on the default background, obviously, because I just think it looks a lot nicer. And then the next app I got for you is going to be the iOS 11 camera application. Now, if you only want to get the iOS experience, you got to have a camera that looks like it. So if you go ahead and tap on that, it will automatically bring you into the photo mode. And then if you swipe to the right, you'll have your square mode. Swipe all the way to the left and have your video. Now, there's no way to adjust the video quality in the settings. My best guess is that whatever your default camera app is set to record a video, this will record a video at. But if you do, but if you're on photo mode, you can add grid lines, or if you go to more settings, you can actually touch to take pictures. So you can actually just hold there, and it should just take the picture for you. The shutter sound, I keep that off. Photo size, it defaults to me by 12 megapixels since again I have the S8 Plus, so my 12 megapixel camera. And then you can save it either to your SD card or to anywhere you want, because it has a full-blown Fire browser inside there. And if you don't want to turn on location information, you can. I don't care about that stuff, so I'm going to leave that off. I will say shutter time is pretty slow. So if you're looking to take nighttime shots, I would not recommend it with this camera. Although you can change the exposure time, which is definitely kind of cool. As well as you do have your filters here. You have about, you should have 18 in total. And realistically, they are pretty cool, and you do get a little bit more than with the iOS application. And then second to last is going to be Apple Music. Since Apple has their own music player, why use their music player for Apple Music? This is a subscription-based service, but you can listen to radio stations for free. Along with that, if you do have your own Apple ID, you can log in and get access to your full music library over here, which is kind of nice. Or at least so I've been told. I haven't signed in yet because I actually don't have an Apple ID. And if you do want to try it, you do get 3 free months of Apple Music for free, so that is pretty nice. But yeah, so here is the official Apple Music application. So if you're going to have one app for music that looks like iOS, take it directly from the people who make iOS. And then the last app is going to be called OS 10 Launcher. I'm going to go ahead and set that as my default application with an app called Home Switch. And here we go. Now I'll have to wait for it to load because I do definitely have a lot of applications on here. Not that many. I do have 129, so not as many as some people might have. Now the reason why I chose this OS 10 launcher as opposed to an iOS 11 launcher is because with this launcher, you actually get features that other launchers don't have. I mean, you have the typical swipe all the way to like the left. You have your search bar, as well as if you swipe down, you also have your search bar. But the cool thing is that if you actually double tap certain system applications, go ahead and tap on them, or sorry, double tap on them, then you actually get 3 touch-like features. So for instance, these are all the text I've sent out, as well as you can click this and then just create a whole new message as well. The other cool thing is that you still get the iOS animations when you are trying to delete an app. So if you tap and hold, then all the apps will shake. And if you want to delete an application, go ahead and click on the X. It will take about a second, but if you want to go ahead and install it, hit OK. If not, I'm just going to hit cancel. And then go ahead and hit the home button to get out of the shaking mode. And I believe on here you can, the dock on here is actually kind of cool because the dock is actually a scrollable dock. So some people have actually had luck scrolling with it. I have not had luck scrolling with it so far, so I'm just going to put that back up here where it belongs. And the way to tell your camera apart from the iOS version camera is that the iOS camera is going to have this white border around it, while your system camera will have the actual iOS camera icon. So yeah, this has been a tutorial on how to make your Android device look and feel like an iOS 11 device, complete with a nice iOS launcher that will give you the 3D touch features on some applications, definitely not all. I can only count about 10 apps that are compatible with mine. On apps that aren't compatible, if you just go ahead and double tap, it'll just give you the app details, allow you to change the name. You also have definitely the nice little iOS 11 control center that can control everything in fine detail when it comes to brightness and the sound. And you have your, dare I say, pretty iOS 11 lock screen. Okay, guys. Well, if you did like this video, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. If you do have any questions, go ahead and post in the comments. I will be posting all the links to these applications that were used in this video in the description. And like I said, all these apps are free. There are premium versions of the app where you can remove ads, but if you don't want to, you do not have to. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching, and peace out. This has been Slifer.